Hi, welcome to Project Geospatial. I'm Adam Simmons at the GEOINT 2022 Symposium here in Denver, Colorado. To this round, we have the pleasure of speaking with Mike DiMarco.
Yes.
Here at Tectonix.
Tectonix, yes.
How about you tell us a little bit about yourself first, how you got involved with the geospatial industry, and we'll dive right into the company.
Sure. So I've been in the geospatial industry about 3 years now. I come from EdTech previously, and then I've known some of the founders of Tectonix for quite a while, and they were working on some really interesting projects that I thought had a ton of applicability, kind of across industries. They were working highly on the federal side, and we're trying to open up a commercial business as well. So I came in to kind of help with that, and I've adopted the geospatial world as my bread and butter now. So
yeah, perfect. So Tectonix, who is the company, and what do you do?
So Tectonix does really large-scale geovisualization. So essentially, we act as a playground to be able to bring in really large data sets. And when I say really large, I'm talking about data sets in the tens to hundreds of billions of records, and be able to interactively explore, map, and analyze these data sets in our front-end UI here. So this is Vision. Vision is our front end, like I said, but we have a back-end database engine that powers this really large-scale geospatial visualization. So Tectonix is fundamentally data agnostic. We essentially can ingest partner and client data into our system. We put it into proprietary format, and then we allow users to come right into this web-based system and be able to interact with the data at the speed of thought. Now, being able to do this iteratively at this kind of scale is something that is highly unheard of in this space. This is traditional tools for queries at this kind of scale. You'd be talking about hours and hours of narrow queries and then waiting for the system to return results. We built Tectonix because we really think that data should be fast no matter how big it is. So, this data set, for example, is in the tens of millions of records. Like I said, we've gone well above 250 billion records and still achieving that interactive speed. Another big difference that Tectonix offers here is that we're essentially able to scale infinitely horizontally as well, which means that the complexity of your data does not ever slow down your analysis. That means you can have 10,000 columns and 50 billion records and still be able to interactively explore that data because every single attribute is indexed and every single attribute is searchable. So it really just it creates an environment where analysts can come in, start with the big picture here, and then be able to slice down into that data to get to those core insights without having to wait hours and hours to return results.
Excellent. So creating these geospatial visualizations, what's the output? What do people do once they've created these visualizations in your platform?
Sure. So I mean, there's applications are all over the place, right? So in this space here at GEOINT, naturally gaining that sort of intel is core to mission for a number of different agencies, and being able to look at sort of the big picture and then hone down in on these stories of interest. It creates the speed to be able to keep up with the data.
Let's back out. It was more of a technical question in terms of do you have an API? They take the map and embed it within their own interfaces. Is it an extract or an export from the map after they've got it? How do they use this outside of your platform?
Yeah, so we like to think of Tectonix as the exploration layer, and then the data can be exported into another system to do follow-on analysis. But we also like to try to create an environment where you can really get pretty granular starting from that big picture. So a lot of this sort of core intel can come right in the Tectonix environment. And as I said, once you've gotten down to the picture that you're looking for, you can, of course, export it out. And everything can be API driven to connect to your other systems in your stack.
Okay, excellent. All right. So and this runs off of, you mentioned scalability.
Yes.
What cloud's infrastructure does it run off of?
So typically we run out of AWS, but we're also cloud agnostic. The entire system is CPU driven. So we're not locked into any GPU hardware whatsoever, which creates not only an incredible cost savings to be able to not have to have any of that front end investment, but also it allows for flexibility and scalability that doesn't trap you in the box like the GPU systems typically do.
So in your demo here, I've seen mostly vector data as a,
yes.
So have you done any work on scaling imagery?
We can do that. We typically do play in the vector space more often. Typically when we work with imagery data, we'll work with partners to sort of be able to marry those two worlds, where we are the ones who are able to find these stories of interest using the really large scale vector data, and then be able to maybe export that out to the imagery side, where now that we've found a core port or a core few devices that are of interest, now we can go over to the satellite imagery side and dive deeper onto what are the the sky-based insights that you can marry together with that data.
Understood.
Sure.
Well, is there anything else about Tectonix you'd like to share with the audience before we wrap up?
No, so I mean, I think that the core to Tectonix is we wanted to make sure we were taking the boundaries off of the analysis that analysts are trying to do. When we're working with data partners, when you're talking about be it telemetry data, AIS, satellite data, sensor-based data, these data sets are coming in at billions of records a day, and to have restrictions in a system that's only allowing you to interactively analyze at a few 100,000 or even a few 100 million records, it's just not going to keep up anymore. So, our goal is really to sort of unlock all of that scalability, unlock all of that interactivity, and just take the bounds off of analysts so we can really get the insights that they need to achieve their mission.
And folks watching this, how do they get a hold of you?
So you can go to tectonix.com. That's tectonix.com.
On the shirt too.
It's right here too. Check us out. We have a lot of interesting demos like this, and then you can always reach out to me directly. It's Mike DiMarco.
Awesome. Well, thank you for showcasing what you have at Tectonix.
All right.
And pleasure meeting you and getting some insights.
Thank you very much.
I'm Adam Simmons of Project Geospatial. We'll talk to everybody next time.
Thanks, guys.